Yes, yes. Welcome back. Hey, our next guest is a 40-plus year veteran in the music business. He's an executive and an author, and he joins us to highlight the release of his autobiography, The Show Must Go On. Bam! Put a stamp on it. Please welcome to the show, Mark Green. Mark, welcome, man.
Dr. Bob Lee, great to be here.
Nice to
Yes,
see
sir.
you, bro. 40-plus years.
40-plus years.
Let's rewind. Take us back to the beginning. Well, you don't have to go all the way back, but you can just give us the abbreviated edition of how you got put it all together.
I started in this business in the 8th grade. I was playing drums, and I had a friend of mine who was playing guitar. We decided to make a band.
School auditorium?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I went to his house to meet his family, and I saw on the wall all these gold albums that said, ABC, I Want You Back, Stop the Love You
There
Saved.
you go,
And I was like, who is that? He says, that's my uncle, Freddie Perrin,
Whoa.
who wrote all these songs and produced them. And he was actually my first mentor.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So you took it from there. You said, let's take this out of junior high into high school.
Yes, yes. And then during that time, around 1976, by that time the era changed. The funk bands were moving out and disco came about, and that's kind of how I started DJing and getting involved.
You was on the ones and twos?
On the ones and twos.
You played in some of the clubs?
In some of the clubs, but the funny thing is
You were a mobile DJ though.
Yeah, absolutely. But during that time, I was approached by a promoter, and he asked me to be in the Battle of the DJs in the Bronx, and that was 1977, and that was the first time I discovered and heard rap.
Yeah, yeah. And Pete DJ Jones and all those guys were out there back then, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I was talking to somebody the other day, Angie Stone, bless her soul, and our condolences go out to her family, and her fans.
Mm-hmm.
She grew up in South Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
Where my family grew up. And when we went out there, I think it was 76, 78.
78.
And they hadn't heard rap down there. We brought rap to the South. And
That's
we were
right.
rapping in this club called the Electric Warehouse. And she came by with a girl named Blondie.
Yep.
And some other people, all the radio stations, all these towns came in from, Bennettsville and all.
Sure.
And it was packed.
Yes.
The club held like 1,500 people. It was packed 7 days a week. And I was just doing my junior year of college, just on a break.
Right.
And we just, we were in there just doing our thing. But she heard us rap back then. I think that's one of the things that inspired them to come to New York City and get on the Sugar Hill label.
Yeah, and I was actually there when they arrived. I was an intern at Sugar Hill Records. I talk about it in the book. The Show Must Go On.
What? We have a connection here.
Yeah, not only that, I was her agent during this situation that just happened.
Yeah.
Actually, we've been talking daily. I had 5 shows booked for her, and I called her the day that she had passed because I was talking, I got another show for you.
Yeah,
So it was definitely devastating to me.
And she was supposed to be in Baltimore, right?
Right, exactly.
That was the next show?
Yep, yes.
And they were driving 4 o'clock in the morning, and they got into that wreck.
Right.
You think maybe someone fell asleep?
I think so.
Yeah. Well, God bless them.
Yes.
Our condolences are up in the air. So,
the show
you
must
said,
go
let
on.
me put the pen to the paper, because the show must go on.
Absolutely. The book is filled with stories and tales of the early days of hip-hop. It's my journey through the music business. And, one thing I wanted people to know, because people ask me, why did you write this book? And, as we had approached the 50 years of hip-hop, I wanted my story to be told, because a lot of people don't know that I was an early influencer in this game and actually introduced rapping to Master G, who later made the first records, Rapper's Delight.
Oh,
And the good thing is he talks about it in the Ford, and he afforded me the opportunity to go in deep and tell my story.
Yeah, see, people don't know.
That's right.
That's why you got to put these things out, and that's why you got to come on the show and let us know, so we can let the world know.
Let them know. Not only that, but I signed Will Smith and Jazzy Jeff. I was their first agent.
What?
Gave them
See,
their
I
first
didn't know
show in
that either.
1986. Salt and Pepper Kid and Play. I was on the Fresh Fest. I heard you talk about the Fat Boys. I was on that tour as well.
Yeah. The Fat Boys, it was me and Mr. Magic, Charles Stetler.
Yes.
We were going around traveling all
And
throughout
I had the
5
Boogie
boroughs.
Boys. I managed the Boogie Boys. We did that tour,
Yeah. Wow. Who's that? I'll
be
be
sure.
sure.
Well, you know, the funny thing, I was his first road manager.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah, and I talk about it in the book. I talk about the crazy stories that happened all through that book.
and who's that?
Allison Williams.
There you go.
Yeah, I work with her as well. You know, Bob, I also have
Look at my girl.
I have a booking agency that I've had for over 25 years called Celebrity Talent Agency.
And you're still booking people.
Still booking people.
Sign me up.
Okay, you got it.
But thank you for all that you do, man. And,
Yes, yes,
and
you know.
continue to do. So this is, where can we get this?
You can find the book on Barnes & Nobles.
Uh-huh.
You can get it on Amazon, or you can go to my website, markmoneygreen.com.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But we're not done
yes.
because you put this one out. I know there's a number 2 coming out too, because there's so many people in the business that you work with. You're gonna have to
Oh,
do
yeah,
a
I mean,
continuation.
People don't know I was the person who created the distribution company for Prince. You know, I was the person who negotiated the Get Down, the Netflix movie for Grandmaster Flash. I did the, well, as you know, introduced rap to Master G. There's so many things I talk about in the book that people don't know, and it's the history not only of hip hop, but it's the history of music as well.
Yeah. So when you talk about all these things and you remember all these things, what stands out in your mind? I mean, a lot of good stuff that you put in the book, but
Sure.
you say, "Oh, I got to put this in the book." What was that?
Well, you know, when I was writing the book, I sat back and I started thinking, because I'm a collector, so I have all the artifacts. I got the tour books, I got the contracts, I got everything.
Yeah.
So it's easy for me to put everything together because I just took from the beginning where I started to where I am
And
now.
they're all dated too.
And they're all dated.
Yeah.
So nobody could come and sue me now.
You own it. It's
I
yours.
own it, yes,
Yeah, yeah.
yes.
But what stands out in your mind? What's something that maybe happened to you or that you experienced with one of the artists?
Oh my goodness, it's a lot. I mean, you're going to read in that book, you're going to hear the stories of the trials and tribulations. Not only that, you're going to hear some crazy stories, you know, working with DMX, Drew Hill, Usher, Timbaland, Missy Elliott, Freddie Jackson, Najee. I mean, I tell all the stories.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Anything unusual?
Well, there are a few unusual.
Give me a
but
backstage piece.
backstage piece. Quick one. I think I was with DMX, and we arrived in North Carolina, and I was rushed into a room by some 4 bodyguards that demanded I pay them some money that he owed them from another show. I was like, what?
There's always one of those, though,
There's
right?
always one of those stories, but you can find them in the book.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I was talking to Sal, just
Yeah.
before you, and we were working with one of the promoters, and it wasn't at Sal's place, but we were at another place in Midtown Manhattan, and we were in there, something related to the money
Sure.
thing. We were in there, and he owed them some money. So the guy locked the door and didn't let anybody out. I said, "Well, wait a minute. He's got to pay me too.
Yes,
I need to go
yes.
home. So he let me out. He kept them. I don't know what happened after that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it can get kind of crazy in this business.
it did, especially in those early days. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. Oh, we didn't make the money that we thought we would make in here. How about, can we just give you this? No.
Yes.
We have a
yes.
deal.
Right, right.
So what's next for you? Who you booking next? What's happening?
You know, we're constantly booking a lot of the 90s acts, Drew Hill,
Yeah.
John B., and then also in hip-hop, Rob Bass, EPMD, and just a lot of the people I grew up with.
One of the things that you're proudest of.
Well, as I just mentioned, I guess my proudest moments were, creating the distribution company for Prince, publishing the Grandmaster Flash story, and negotiating the Netflix story to Get Down,
Yeah.
signing Will Smith and Jazzy Jeff, and of course, introducing rap music to Master G.
Man. So you, just like Sal, you have history.
Yes, sir.
I'm
yes, sir.
gonna get all inside of this book right
Yes.
here. This is beautiful. It's beautiful. Did you meet Quincy Jones or anyone?
Yeah, I did. I
Yeah.
did. And the funny thing, when I met Quincy, me being like just crazy to meet this guy, he just sat down and talked to me for like an hour, And I was like amazed, like he doesn't know me, but he's going to sit here and have a conversation with me.
Yeah. He's that type of person.
He was that type of
I
person.
like those type of people because
Yeah.
you meet a lot of people in the business.
Oh,
Some
yeah.
of them look over your head like you're not even
Absolutely.
there, and some of them will just engage,
Right.
and you can walk away saying, this is a cool guy.
Yep.
Just like you told me, like he'll give you that conversation. He'll give you a time of day.
Yes, yes.
And there's some people that, and just even with me, I understand that, and I use that today. See, this guy, look, he didn't want to talk. He's full of himself.
Mm-hmm.
And so now people are talking about you in that way.
Yes, yes.
So, yeah. So you have a relationship with the Lehman
Yes.
Center for Performing Arts.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Yeah, so I'm the general manager here at Lehman, and I actually celebrated 10 years in January.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, no, that.
I'm
no,
learning
man.
something new every day.
Oh man, Bob, I remember you back in almost the 70s.
I've come from that far. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did my internship with WBLS in 1980, 79, 80.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before all these cats logged on or jumped in. And the original social media was being out in the public and shaking hands and kissing babies. That's the
Absolutely.
original social media.
I know.
That's why it took me so long to get involved in the social media that's happening now. They say, oh, you got to get involved in this new thing. I said, okay. Every now and then I'll jump in.
Yeah.
Where can we contact you? Where can we reach you? Give me your website.
Sure.
social
It's
media.
Celebrity Talent Agency Inc. on Instagram and Celebrity Talent Agency on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So we can go there and check you out, and all your stuff is right there.
All there, pictures and everything.
My brother, it's a
Yes, sir.
pleasure. It's an
Same
honor
here.
to meet you.
Here.
All
Same
right.
here.
All right. We'll take a quick break. I've got more coming up next, right here on Open.